Hi everyone, this is Alan Lepofsky from Constellation Research, and today I want to quickly speak to you about a big trend that's emerging in the file sharing world, and that's about streaming files down to your computer instead of synchronizing them. Today's news that sort of kicks off this video is about enterprise file sync and share, or enterprise content management vendor Box, announcing the public beta of their new desktop client and Box Drive. So what this does is it allows you to have access from Windows File Manager or Mac Finder to all of the files that are in your corporate environment that you have access to, everything that's been shared with you. But like I said, you don't have to have these synced down to your local computer, so that means you have access to them without taking up any hard drive space. When you do want to open one of those files, you click on it and it streams down to your computer. So think of it like navigating all the movies that are on Netflix. You see all the titles when you're going through the screen, but only when you click on one and want to watch that file does it actually start streaming, to your computer. Now, as I mentioned, this is available starting in public beta, so you can download it for Windows or for Mac from Box, so Box Drive public beta. They've been privately testing it with customers for quite some time, but today the announcement is about the open public beta. Now, other vendors in this space have similar offerings. Dropbox for Business calls theirs Smart Sync. And again, you're going to see similar messaging about access to every file and folder without taking up disk space. So you can see here, their imagery is quite the same. Are folders synced? Do they take up any space on your hard drive? Like Box Drive, this is also not generally available yet, but they're calling theirs early access for customers that are on Dropbox for Business. In the Google environment, G Suite calls theirs Drive File Stream. Access drives on Macs and PCs using less disk space. So again, from an end user standpoint, very similar messaging. And like the others, this is also currently only available in an early adopter program. Now, let's also mention Microsoft in this. Microsoft OneDrive, they call their version of it Files on Demand, similar to that Netflix kind of on-demand movie type of environment. And again, this is also not generally available yet, but Microsoft has announced theirs will be available with the Windows 10 Fall Creator Update. Now again, Box announced theirs today. Interestingly, Microsoft just yesterday announced that customers that are on the Windows Insider track, this new feature, OneDrive Files on Demand for Windows 10, was made available yesterday. So again, not generally available, but for those that are installing daily builds or newer builds of Windows 10. Rounding it out, enterprise file sharing vendor Ignite also has similar functionality. They call theirs Connect Desktop. And again, you're going to see similar messaging here. Access all your content right from your desktop without filling up the space on your hard drive. So all of the major vendors have similar functionality from an end user standpoint. It's great to see because this really allows people to discover and access content without having to synchronize and take up disk space. Each of the vendors has, some differences from an architecture standpoint and security and compliance. Box's announcement today is very focused on the fact that their Box desktop client complies with all of their data and governance and compliance regulations, so things like document lifecycle management, e-discovery, data retention, compliance around things like FedRAMP and HIPAA and FINRA, etc. So a lot of good things to look at there. Box Drive or Box Desktop also supports virtual environments, which is something I'm not quite sure if the others support, but I haven't seen it mentioned from them. And that means things like a VMware or a Citrix virtual desktop infrastructure. So for people that log on to Citrix or VMware and get their desktop displayed on their screen, the new Box desktop client will be able to work, that Box Drive client will be able to work in that environment. So I hope this has been helpful to you. If you have any questions, it's Alan Lepofsky from Constellation Research, and would love to talk to you about how your organization is using enterprise content management or enterprise file sync and share. Thank you. Bye.